Eh, eh, eh. Good evening, my darling batlings. We got one more person that is probably going to be joining us in just... There we go. Hello, Chuck. Long time no see. Do you live?
Live.
Are you amongst the at least partially living like me?
Spin!
I would spin, but can't really do that right now.
I lack the animation frames to spin, at least with this model.
Yep.
All right.
There we go. Yeah, welcome back to our little gaggle of misfits. Tonight we're going to be playing the remake of Destroy All Humans. I have a history with the Destroy All Humans series. It was like a very formative part of my middle school years. I was I wasn't allowed to play
the game.
I wasn't allowed to play Grand Theft Auto, but since this was rated T, this was my Grand Theft Auto. It still got plenty of adult humor in it that went straight over my head because I did not get half of the jokes that it was making, partly about sex jokes, and also a lot of jokes about 1950s politics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never played this game because I never had a PlayStation. I had never had anything bigger than a Game Boy Advance when this game was out. So
I see.
I had epilepsy from age 4.5 until I was 22. So I wasn't allowed to play video games.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me before. I'm sorry, I forgot about it.
Yeah. Oh no, it's totally fine, dude. It's the past. It's all behind me now, so I'm all good. I'm actually catching up on so many things that I've missed out over the years, and I'm like, how did I miss any of this? This is great stuff.
I'm with you there. I'm just getting into a lot of 90s stuff that I was too young to play, either due to the ratings or due to me being born a little bit too late for me to grow up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the 90s first-person shooters, I'm just now getting into for the first time. But, yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of them back then.
Oh, yeah, once Doom came out, it was an arms race to see who could make the next Doom.
Yeah. And
so,
wasn't Halo basically the next one of those?
Halo was the next first-person shooter that everyone tried to beat. I remember every time a studio on, making a game for a console that wasn't the Xbox, that was an FPS, came out, they always said, this is gonna be our Halo killer. And it always failed.
I remember... I remember not that long ago, my mom was like, oh yeah, I know you're not big into first-person shooters, but do you... for your ADHD, this could actually help you. And she gave me a copy of Wolfenstein 3D for...
Oh, Wolfenstein 3D's, the first-person shooter, basically. Same developers that went on to make Doom.
It looks a lot like it to me. I was wondering if that was the case.
I think
Wolfenstein 3D was them cutting their teeth on making a 3D first-person shooter game, basically inventing the genre. And then Doom was them, taking it to the next level. If I ever get around to streaming the Doom series, I can definitely go into a lot of that history. Because unlike a lot of games nowadays, there's a ton of documentation about what everyone on the Doom and Wolfenstein and all those dev teams were doing at the time. There's documentaries about it, there's books about it. Just lots of resources to find out how these games were made.
I mean, yeah, I mean, with YouTube, especially with like you could watch weeks and weeks and weeks worth of documentaries for anything nowadays.
Yeah.
Like,
in fact,
I found a few documentaries on like Harpo, Marx. Like, I really like the Marx Brothers, and I was just flipping through a bunch of Marx Brothers stuff, and I found a few. Like, his life was like, it was both sad and very fulfilling. Like, he was a very happy man at the end of his life, but he did not have a happy childhood. And like, he was happier than most. He was happier than most vaudeville comedians. Like, and part of the reason why, like, everyone thinks that the reason why he was mute in everything that he was in is because he thought that it was best if he did that. It's actually because he sucked at memorizing lines. So his brothers made him like just be like a mime is basically what he did, and it became his shtick, and he was really good at it.
From my I've never really watched the Marx Brothers, but from my understanding, like, Harpo was like the one that was extremely good at improv.
Oh, he was, yeah.
Because like, I don't know if you browse TV tropes, but their term for like when the director just expects their actors to improv, the term that TV tropes use for that is Harpo does something funny, which is what was written into a lot of scripts for Marx Brothers stuff.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, and also, you guys have heard the hot seat euphemism, right? He actually coined that.
Oh, that was him.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, because apparently, like, whenever he went to dinners, like Hollywood parties and things like that, apparently he wasn't very well liked amongst a lot of the directors. And like, whenever he went to a party at a director's house, they would seat him at the end of the table near the fireplace, and that's why it's called the hot seat.
I
had no idea why.
I've always wondered why it was called the hot seat.
And like, listening to this documentary like opened my eyes to a lot of things about him, and that makes so much sense now, because the fact that he coined it. It actually makes sense, and I never knew why it was used, and now I do.
So, like, as a little bit of setup for what to expect from Destroy All Humans, this is a remake of the original PS2 and Xbox game. It uses like the same audio, same soundtrack, just updated graphics and updated controls.
Kind of like SpongeBob Rehydrated.
Yeah, it's the same publisher as SpongeBob Rehydrated.
Yeah, yeah, it's THQ Nordic, right?
Yeah, because THQ was the original publisher of Destroy All Humans when they were starting to branch out of just making licensed games. And like, it's sort of like a tribute and satire to like 1950s aesthetics, and also 1950s like alien invasion movies. Except this time, you're the alien invader. And it's because this was like a very 2000s game, it's humor, they start with a disclaimer of like, hey, this has got some shit that might get you canceled today.
Yep. It's
like,
games like, back then were a lot more bold, that's for sure.
Yeah, like this opening sequence here with like the TV narrator talking to you is a direct reference to the movie Plan 9 from Outer Space, which opens the same way. In fact, it's the same speech.
I was thinking that like maybe this was a reference to the Twilight Zone, is what I was thinking, but I've never seen that movie.
This predates the Twilight Zone, or Plan 9 predates
I would imagine
the Twilight
so.
Zone. Twilight Zone was like 1960s.
It was. I think it was 1960 to 1960. 67, I think. I'm not sure.
There's been a lot of iterations of the Twilight Zone.
Well, I know, but that was the first iteration.
Yeah. But Plan 9 was 1959.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt, but Ari, we can't hear the game audio.
Can't hear the game audio? Let me fix that.
Thinking, I can't hear anything.
Let me fix that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
There you go.
There we go.
There we go. I can hear it now.
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes about, like, the Red Scare, the Cold War, that kind of stuff in this game. And also, like, jokes about, like, hey, this is a thing that's commonplace at the time that the game came out, but like, 1950s people are predicting it.
Yeah. Ah, shit, he's got a gun! Shut him!
No, we didn't have to do anything. He just fell there.
Oh, then you know what that means, boys?
Fool. I should never have.
Oh, hi, Richard Stephen Horvitz, voicing another alien invader character.
Shaking, Pox? You look a little, what's the word? Constipated.
Let's just say I hope you turn out to be less of an evolutionary dead end than your predecessor.
So our main character here is Cryptosporidium 137, part of the Furon race of aliens. Basically, they've reached like a genetic dead end, so they can't reproduce sexually anymore. So they just clone themselves into infinity. And the one that we saw crash was his predecessor,
kind of like
Crypto
the hybrid.
136.
Crypto 136 in search of a planet we visited many eons ago.
Promotion?
A
What
planet
for?
seeded with pure Furon DNA. But I lost
And
contact.
the reason that we're going to Earth is not just to get our buddy back, but also because the ancient Furons visited Earth once, mated with early primitive humans, which means that all humans on Earth carry pure Furon DNA that can be used to produce better clones.
You wouldn't. Let me tell you something, Pox. You're a smart cookie. But there's a time for thought, and there's a time for action. And this is one of those times.
And the cloning thing works into like gameplay mechanics, because every time you die, you have infinite lives, but every time you die, the number on your name is upped by 1. So
Goes
like
up.
you start out as 137. If you die, then you're replaced with Crypto 138.
I mean, I gotta brains, man. When do I get to blow things up?
Patience, Crypto, patience. I take your point.
I just want to blow shit up!
Yes, Crypto
Basically.
is such a fun character because he is not a heroic character. He is gleefully a bastard.
The planet.
And they don't try to like humanize him or sympathize him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're playing as an alien invader trying to enslave the human race. You're not going to try and make this guy sympathetic, and I like that.
Nope.
You, not every villain protagonist needs to have a sympathetic backstory to be
Right.
fun.
I am Crypto 135. I want cookies.
All right.
I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
And I'm all out of gum. Oh, I'm all out of... Speaking of that, one of the weapons we get is an anal probe.
Jesus.
Oh, dude.
An anal probe that makes
Oh, man,
people's
that-
heads explode.
Oh, God.
Oh, my.
This is a teen-rated game, and the way it gets around it is by making the blood green.
Even humans' blood?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
boy.
The ESRB can be fooled easily.
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Wait, that's not right. I thought human blood was blue.
So, like, with the Plan 9 reference at the beginning, that's because, depending on what region you lived in, it came with, like, a free, like, public domain B movie bundled as a bonus feature on the disc for the PS2 version.
Really?
If you lived in Europe, then you got Plan 9 as, like, the entire movie you could watch after beating the game.
Nice.
Whereas North American gamers got the movie Teenagers from Outer Space.
So is it like connected to this story, or is it just some random movie they decided to bundle
it was
with
like it was a basis for an inspiration for the game's aesthetics and style.
Okay.
Plus, it's public domain, so they don't have to pay licensing
Orthobox
fees.
to Cryptosporidium 137. Come in, Cryptosporidium.
Crypto here. How's the view from the safety of the mothership?
Very funny. Let's just say I'm glad I'm up here and you're down there. Loathsome little planet. Now, Crypto, to ensure this invasion runs smoothly, it is imperative we identify the dominant life forms on this world. Those lactating bovoids are likely candidates.
Surely you don't mean those foul-smelling gas bags beyond the fence?
Yes, I'm afraid I do.
But they're covered in nipples.
Now, Cryptosporidium!
That's the worst way I've heard someone describe a cow, and I love it.
I know. Oh, man. They're covered in nipples. They're very nipply. I don't think that something with so many nipples could have that kind of intelligence.
We can peer into the minds of lower life.
So,
via the
you have
cortex
psychic
scan.
powers.
Rip the
You can read minds, and you can move stuff telekinetically. We get more powers as the game progresses. So let's read a cow's mind. Grass. Grass.
Moo. Primitive, yet profound. Scan another one.
Primitive yet profound.
Again with the moo. I think
Hey, Dash Cat, why do you come in on the word nipples? Because this is the perfect game for me to stream.
They eat with their mouths.
I have to play this now. Oh, man.
It's on, like, every platform. It's widely available now.
I know. Is it like, how much is it?
Not that much. It's like, at most, it's like 30, 40 bucks.
Masters welcome you.
Okay. Yeah, I think I might pick it up and play it, because this...
At this time, we wish
This
to
is
abduct
very
you
much
for
in
the
my
purpose
vein of humor. I
scientific
love
research.
it.
The procedure will be protracted and invasive. Do you have any objections? Earth creature, I am addressing you. Respond or be vaporized.
They're vaporized. Ah!
I don't care how
Oh, my.
sticks you have. I don't have time for this.
Like I said, this is peak 2000s.
neurons have evolved.
Yeah.
It's very much in that vein. Yeah, it's like...
Time
like,
to telekinetically kill
Jimmy
the cows.
Neutron. It's like Jimmy Neutron, dude.
Curse these creatures. Good work, Crypto.
And the original version of this is also available on PSN and Xbox Live.
Wait a minute. That ain't steak. That's holy mother. Martha, give me the
What?
shotgun.
Yeah, it's going to sleep.
Okay.
This looks like a job
All right,
for the Zootic.
I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna probably be off for a couple of seconds. I'll be right back.
All right.
Collect the brainstem from what's
Time to extract a brain.
You can consume the brainstem and collect.
Like I said, make the blood green and the ESRB doesn't care.
Right.
Come on back, you gotta see this. They got a talking horse on the TV. I ain't never seen nothing like.
Well, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't never seen nothing like this before.
I
not
am
green.
not green.
Talking horse.
I am not green.
Sorry, Francis the Talking Donkey or Mr. Ed. Yeah, that's what I meant.
It was Mr. Ed,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
because it was specifically a talking horse on the TV.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah. Let's see,
Now you may be wondering, why am I exploding people's heads and collecting their brains? Because that gives you points for buying upgrades.
Oh, my lord. Excellent work. My hand.
So our first weapon is the Zap-O-Matic.
Crypto.
Zap-O-Matic. I love
Yes.
it. Yes, friends, the handy-dandy Zap-O-Matic.
I wonder, given that he's a gray alien, I wonder if he knows Gray Leno.
We got a call from Farmer Dixon over the other side of the state road. Said he heard some pretty strange noises coming from over this way.
Or hey,
Spaceman!
what about
What is that?
Gray Leno?
A new silo?
Is the
What's the difference between the remake and the original? Updated graphics and controls, basically, but the base game is more or less the same. It's just the remake looks better, runs better, and has more modern controls. Whereas the original is like that early PS2 style of controls where they hadn't quite figured out how third-person shooters should work. Also, some tweaks to, like, notoriously difficult sections of the game to, make it more balanced. Yeah, it's a Crash Bandicoot situation, exactly.
Dude, games back then were so unbalanced. Like, I recently tried playing, well, no, like, not recently, but, like, when I played, Super Mario Sunshine for the first time on the, 3D All-Stars collection for the Switch. Like,
yeah.
The game, like, the controls were so hard to get down because, like, the original Switch, the original GameCube had, like, a...
Yeah, the GameCube had analog... analog triggers, which the game is built around using. So, but thankfully...
But the Switch has digital.
Yeah, if you get one of those GameCube controller adapters, it supports GameCube controllers natively. And will work with the analog triggers.
Hmm.
Also,
so,
the
like,
button layout
have, like,
on the like the button layout on a GameCube controller is different than a Switch controller. So they they kept the buttons mapped basically the same, but they're in different positions. So it's like really awkward.
Oh, great! The human military-industrial complex. We can't allow them to alert their leaders to our presence. Exterminate!
He was so specific on what that was. The military-industrial complex. It's like, what? That was very specific.
Yep. Like I said, this game's got a lot of satire of 1950s American politics and culture.
Look out! There are more to the north in the bushes.
And, like, your recurring villain faction for this game, for lack of a better term, is basically like this game's equivalent of the Men in Black. Except they're called Majestic.
That sounds like a 1950s secret organization within the government.
Yes, it does. And they're like doing all sorts of experiments on the American people and hiding it under the veil of fighting communism.
Don't worry, ma'am. We have Majestic on it. What is Majestic? It is a top secret organization within the government that deals with extraterrestrial types.
There's a part very early on that I really like, where you have to, like, impersonate the town mayor and give a speech telling people not to worry and that there's no alien invaders. And the way you win you have to, like, make the right dialogue choices, and the right ones are always the ones that play up patriotism and, like, anti-communist fears the most.
Yeah.
Here's Majestic.
Did you see what I saw?
You bet your sweet ass I did. What did you see?
Little green man in a flying saucer wiping out the best infantry unit in the U.S. Army.
Right, good.
You should have said, and it's juicy.
Stiff. You know what it means?
Absolutely. What?
It means the paper's got it right for once. Get on the horn to Silhouette. we've got the worst case scenario.
The eggheads were actually onto something? I don't believe it.
Believe it, Roswell was only the beginning. The invasion is on.
I thought Roswell was in the 70s.
Roswell was in the 40s.
Yeah,
Oh, it was?
just after the Second World War, actually.
Sorry, I think I had like some kind of I don't know why I thought it was the 70s for some reason. I thought that there was like some kind of like plane crash in Roswell in the 70s.
Like the conspiracy theories that it was like an alien ship that crashed there and was captured by the US government and taken back to Area 51. And the official story is that it was an experimental weather balloon.
Okay.
And the most the middle ground between those two is that it was actually an American spy plane that they didn't want getting leaked out to the public.
Ah, okay.
Also, every time you beat a level, you get these newspaper headlines. Cattle mutilation pandemic. Farmer disappears amidst cow abuse allegations.
So like a cow serial killer.
And
so they're trying
we did kill all the cows on the farm.
Well, I know, but like they're blaming it on the
like you can actually read the whole text on there, and they're saying like, oh, he's known for his cows winning best in show, and he probably went crazy with like trying to do DIY plastic surgery on them to make them like better.
Oh man, this game is getting better and better.
And if you like the first one, the sequel also has a remake called Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobe. And Destroy All Humans 2 takes place during the 60s. So it's got a lot of satire of like hippie culture and stuff like that.
Sailors on a foreign planet letting off steam.
Oh, that sounds great.
And in that one, like in this game, it's mostly limited to America, just different parts of America. In the second game, you travel all over the world. There's a sequel. There's 4 of these games. One's a spin-off that takes place in the 70s. That's about the aliens setting up a fast food chain inspired by the Big Boy restaurants. Except the Big Boy is a mech that you get to control and go on rampages with. And the 4th game is the final game in the series, and I never played it. It's the one that I always wanted to play but never saw being sold anywhere.
Welcome to my little laboratory. You may not have known this, but I flatter myself to be something of an inventor. In my spare time, I've been developing
and very humble
weapon and ability upgrades.
This guy's not even the leader of the Furons. He's just their chief scientist. The Furon Emperor wouldn't show up until the 4th game, to my understanding.
Okay.
So you use the DNA points you get from like completion rewards and from stealing brains to buy upgrades. Upgrades for yourself, your weapons, and for your ship. And we also have archives that have like concept art, little tutorial stuff, let you replay previous missions.
Oh. Okay.
Come on, work with me.
Here's the archives, and they've got their own alien here called Gastro 999, who's like a back in my day kind of guy who's a veteran of the war on Mars.
Oh, jeez.
Where the Furons wiped out the Martians.
Oh, jeez.
You know, the Martians just don't really have a good rap with like survival. Like in DC, they're all wiped out by various alien races.
Either
like,
by
and
Civil
John is
War.
always.
Yeah, it's like either civil war between the Martian races or just an alien race kind of wipes them all out.
in the TV show, it was like I don't think that they even named themselves. I think that they didn't even have a name in the first like 3 episodes.
Yeah, they were just they were called invaders, but they were basically saying how John described them as parasites.
Find a malleable human and lead it back to your ship for questioning. Get the picture.
So that was not like the shape-shifting abilities were not a natural ability that the parasite creatures actually possessed. It was just like,
Yeah, they stole them from the Martians. Yeah, I remember that.
The more chance that those human policemen and the military.
So we've got our next psychic ability, the ability to temporarily wipe people's minds.
Don't forget to disguise.
And now
Crypto.
we can disguise ourselves as people we scan using a holographic disguise called the Holobob.
Mm.
you know,
Have you guys seen Resident Alien? Oh, sorry.
No.
I have not seen Resident Alien.
You wouldn't want to lose concentration.
I've gotten recommendations to watch it. I just haven't had a chance to.
It's very funny. It's very funny.
Look a little too good.
It's like a lot of this is actually kind of reminding me of this, and like I think that they actually reference like not by the name, but they call them the Greys, and they're apparently a lot like these guys.
What would we call ourselves?
Well, the Greys are sort of like a stock alien trope in a lot of media. The Furons are based on the stereotype of the gray alien invaders.
You just have to scan.
But
yeah, so
the reason I'm scanning so many people's minds, partly to find out, you know, where our next objective is, and also because scanning people's minds keeps your disguise from failing. And also because it gets you funny lines.
But yeah, you know, Ari, I think this is one of those things.
Where's the sidewalk oozing?
We'll call it
No,
a mind
it's just
erasing
me.
kit.
A what?
Mind erasing kit? I should order one of those mind erasing kits.
Clearly, the best test
We
of a
already have
viable
one.
presidential candidate is: do I want to invite him over for a barbecue?
Is that Bill Farmer?
I wouldn't be surprised. This game's got a lot of random voice actors in it.
Because that sounded a lot like a higher pitched Goofy, is what it sounded like.
Very odd.
Man, oh man, she may be the dumbest Miss Rockwell ever. And check out them cantaloupes. God, I love America.
Oh, I wonder what my Bessie thinks about becoming beefsteaks in a supermarket someplace. Steak.
Anyone remember Paul? I saw ads for Paul, but I never saw the movie.
My mind says Amos.
For what?
My body says Amos.
Paul, it's a movie about a gray alien, voiced by Seth Rogen.
Oh yeah.
Doing great, business is booming.
I remember hearing about it. I never saw it myself either.
So I can get down to the real business of governing. Making time with the delicious Miss Rockwell.
Also, every politician in this game sounds like John F. Kennedy.
I know. I was thinking that sounds like what's Dan Castellaneta's politician voice.
Yeah.
Meat, meat. I like meat.
I feel a sudden irresistible urge to wear pants and change my name to Ellie Mae.
Beverly Hillbillies.
Well, go ahead.
Francis the Talking Mule.
You go, girl.
There we go. Mr. Ed versus Francis the Talking Mule. Like,
I bet a lot of people were like confused about like who's Francis the Talking Mule. It's not a very widely known character. At least amongst our generation.
Want to know about our Lord and Savior Jesus Mouse? God bless America. Says Dash Cat in the chat. I mean, I wouldn't put it past modern Disney to try and turn Mickey Mouseism into an official religion.
Dude, they already are, kind of.
I mean, just look at Disney adults.
Yep.
Queen! Finally,
Yeah, like if you ever see anyone wearing like Disney memorabilia, I'm like, nope. Just nope.
Yeah.
Or was it by the sea?
Yeah, I had friends who I actually cut ties with last year.
All right,
who
Crypto.
are, like, big Disney
I've
fans.
analyzed all the thoughts you've
Like, to
collected,
them, Disney
and
can
I
do
think
no
I've
wrong.
isolated the
And I was
perfect
like,
subject for you
"Oh,
to
you're
probe.
They can do a lot of wrong,
No.
but
Abduct and bring back to the
it's.
mothership.
My way
I don't
is
know. I don't know if I can really go into some of the things that
Not vaporize.
I probably shouldn't.
Okay, but
Yeah,
humanity ain't
just,
gonna annihilate
you know,
itself.
just
Yeah.
since it's
I'm just
my
gonna leave it at
stream,
that.
if
Yeah.
if you decide to start
you?
doing your own streams,
As I
feel
was
free.
saying, the newly
Oh, no,
crafted
I understand
software
that.
looks like a prime
Yeah.
candidate for testing. She's envied and desired by other humans. She's highly persuadable. Best of all, she apparently has a brain the size of a peanut. Hypnotize her and send her back to your ship for collection.
So now we've got the ability to implant commands into people's brains.
I want to thank all the little
In this
people.
case, we're making her follow us to the UFO
Oh, jeez.
so we can abduct her and then probe her.
I knew I should have bought that baseball diamond.
I'm sorry, was that
that
Angels in the
sounds a
Outfield
little
reference?
That sounds a little sus, if you know what I mean.
This whole game is sus.
Yeah. Probing? It sounds a lot like,
Must
Uh,
keep
you know.
killing me. Damn heels. Wait, I let the person that
After all, it is an animal farm.
Oh my god, an
man.
Animal Farm reference.
dark in the
Wait, what?
woods.
There was
Yeah,
a book called
the
Animal
guy
Farm.
whose mind we just scanned said, guess
Animal
there's
Farm.
nothing
Whatever happens to
guess
me
there's
goes
nothing
dark
wrong
in
with
mysterious
animals
woods.
peaceably organizing. After all, it is an
Fairy
Animal
tales
Farm.
Or slasher films.
Oh my god.
Are. Nothing to worry about here.
I've only read little bits and pieces of that book. I've
I had to
never
read it
actually
for
read
high
all the way
school.
through.
It's pretty good. There's also a few
I don't know why, but for some reason we never read it in my high school English class.
Of course,
I
Like
don't know why.
in a lot of high school English classes, you read like one George Orwell book. It's either 1984 or Animal Farm. And my school went with Animal Farm.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Wow, this is really stereotypical.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
This game's built around stereotypes of 1950s stuff.
This sure doesn't look like the pie eating contest.
Oh my god.
Low legs.
What's happening? Oh God! Please, no! Oh,
Christ, that's the whitest woman I've ever seen.
It's probing time.
Second whitest. Don't forget about Princess Elise.
Yeah, that's the spot. Oh, that is
Never
Oh my
fail.
Oh my god. This game is awesome.
Now it's time to destroy the fair.
By using your saucer's abducto.
Destroy these
creature or object.
cretins. Commies.
Yeah, like I said, they blame everything on communists. Because this is 50s America.
Commies are destroying our state fair. Oh, well, gee, yuck. Are you levitating a tank?
I'm trying to levitate a tank. It's one of our ship abilities, the abducto beam.
Okay, I guess it's a little bit more creative than the tractor beam.
Like again, it's
Still not
trying to go
very-
off of like how the 50s titled stuff in their sci-fi movies.
Still, it's not very inspired, just like 1950s movies.
That's also why the soundtrack makes heavy use of theremins.
It came from outer space.
Hey, from outer space.
Enemies!
Yeah, that's what they should call it, the suck beam.
The suck beam.
I mean, Ratchet and Clank has the suck cannon.
I mean, true, yeah.
Or the Wonder Boner.
The Wonder Boner. You know, my wife would like that.
You would like that. Oh my god, I love that video.
Disaster at Rockwell Fair. So Fairground left in tatters by freak storm. Miss Rockwell committed to Shady Pine Sanitarium. Mayor miraculously survives fairground disaster.
Oh my.
A saucer upgrade, perhaps? No? How about your gun or your abilities? Hmm?
He's very sassy.
Yes, everyone. Oh, the Furons in general are really sassy from what little we get to see of them. Also, you recognize that pose on the poster for the next stage?
Oh yeah, I recognize it.
It's from Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yep.
Oh yes, yes it is. You're right. That's what's his name?
It's the pose that like any of the Body Snatchers do when they've been found out. They like point and shriek. It's that pose.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. But I'm trying to think of what the guy's name is. That's the main character of the 1970s one, at least.
Yeah, it's that was a thing specific to the 70s one. So it's not just 50 stuff that references.
Dude, also, like, you know, the last time that I was on, I think you were playing,
I was playing Ratchet and Clank, I believe.
Ratchet and Clank, yeah. We were talking about Weird Al. Like, the guy that plays RJ Fletcher was actually in the first of those movies. He was, like, in the very first one. Yeah. The UHF, have you ever seen it?
I haven't yet.
Dude, that is a really, really funny movie. I'm actually kind of surprised that you, as a Weird Al fan, have not seen it.
I have a lot of movies
very
I've been
surprised
meaning to watch.
that.
I just haven't set aside the time to do it. So we have to scan the cow's brain.
It's such a fantastically funny film.
Brains? Healthy green glow? Those human fools! Clearly they've genetically altered these pathetic gas bags and turned them into radioactive exploding zombie cows!
Obviously, that's the first thing that would come to mind.
It only makes sense!
We can use them as weapons because they explode.
I love how he just takes one look at them and knows that they explode. It's midget.
Yes, that's why he shouted, not alien or commie, midget.
Big-headed midget. Gray midget. Jeez.
No, not quite.
Like, this game is apologetically from the 2000s.
Yep. And the second one gets even worse with being unapologetically from the 2000s, where you start visiting other countries like Japan. Like, without getting into spoilers for the second game, there's a boss fight in the Japan stage in Destroy All Humans 2 that's basically just a fight against Godzilla.
Oh, dude. Oh, that's another franchise that I absolutely love.
Oh, Godzilla. I love me some Godzilla.
That's like when I was like 13, 14 years old, all I ever did was talk about Godzilla and go to the library and find like documentary books on Godzilla and how the movies were made. I know I was basically a walking encyclopedia back then for that.
I actually gave a presentation in my social studies class about kaiju movies because I was so obsessed with Godzilla at the time.
I mean, dude, they're like fascinating though. They're like really fascinating. Like especially like the Showa era of movies is very fascinating, and the Heisei. Like the Millennium series had one or two really good movies, but the Heisei and Showa era
Millennium's more fascinating in terms of the behind the scenes stuff rather than what's actually on screen.
It really is. It really is. Because, like, honestly, the movies were kind of uninspired most of the time. They were just retreads of everything that had already been done before.
Yeah, I mean, I give the Millennium series some credit, but you know, like for seeing, I think, as I recall, the Millennium series, I could be wrong, but I think it's what gave us Kaiser Ghidorah, my favorite form of Ghidorah.
Kaiser Ghidorah showed up in Final Wars.
Yes. Yeah, Final War was the last movie of the Millennium series, and I agree, it is definitely the best version. Yeah. That and Death Ghidorah, which was technically in the Mothra series.
Yeah, the Rebirth of Mothra series.
You know, honestly, those movies, I really do enjoy them, but only because they're just like so different that I don't, they're like the Brandon Tenold. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Okay, well, he's a YouTuber that does a lot of like B movies and stuff like that, and he coined the phrase Kennies.
Oh, I remember I'm familiar with him. I've seen him.
Yeah, they're basically Kennies are the annoying kid characters in every kaiju film that like befriends the main hero kaiju. Like it really started with his reviews of Gamera. Or
Gamera is especially bad for those.
Oh yeah, that had a lot of Kennies in it. Like, it was basically the Showa era of Godzilla, like cranked up to 11. Yeah, like the later Showa era of Godzilla, like 1960s.
Yeah.
What?
It's him, the mayor. Now use Hypnoblast to distract the lackey surroundings.
So now we can cause distractions. And his distraction is doing the chicken dance. I love it.
Time to take the stage. Break a leg. No crypto.
Damn it! I got discovered.
Back to the mothership with you.
Yeah, there are a lot of Godzilla movies. The franchise just turned 70 this year.
I know. Yeah, it's 1954. Oh, you're right. It did turn 70 this year. 1954 was when the first one came out.
Yep.
And, like, dude, the first movie was so good. Like, honestly, it is objectively the best movie of the entire series, and I see why. In every single era of Godzilla that they like basically say that the first movie happened every single time.
Yeah, because
I can see why they do it.
It's like it is the trope maker for most kaiju movies, and it's like one of the best examples to go to in terms of quality and in terms of like saying a good example for what to expect from a kaiju movie.
Yeah, I mean, and
it's also like a fascinating allegory for what the horrors of the atomic bombs were like for the only people to experience them.
Yeah, but like starting from the second movie on, they just like basically made it into like the most cheesy thing ever.
Yeah, because
they didn't know what to do with it afterwards, because the allegory was over by the first movie.
And also because it was only supposed to be one movie. How do you make a sequel when the monster's dead?
Wait just a cotton picking minute. Mr. Mayor, I've lived in this town all my life.
And it was also like, I read a whole thing about like a lot of the production of each movie, and it was like starting with Godzilla vs. Mothra, I believe it was. Like part of the reason they started leaning towards like cheesiness in there was
Heroic
because
Godzilla.
Hold on. Our excuse.
Well, that's just the healthy inner glow that comes from chewing a cud of fresh green Rockwell grass. Why, I chew it myself all the time.
We have to make excuses for all the shady stuff that's been going on. But, like, for Godzilla vs. Mothra, its entire plot setup was inspired by the rise of television.
Yeah.
That actually kind of makes sense now that I think about it.
I'll tell you what's been going on around here. Communism, that's what.
Just blame everything on communism. It's the American way.
That's the only thing that's going on around here.
But I'm not willing to see the land our forefathers fought and died for fall under the boot of the
Godzilla movies have continuity between each other. The Heisei series has the most. The others,
yes,
you can
it really does.
Like the Showa, like 1984 onwards. 1984 through Godzilla vs. Destroya have like an ongoing continuity. Whereas pretty much every other incarnation is like the Showa series has some continuity where like there's recurring monsters and villains and stuff like that, but they're mostly it's very thin and you can really just step into any movie, watch it, and get the gist of it.
Yeah, like and like the one movie that like everyone like either you hate it or you love it is Godzilla versus Hedorah or Hedorah.
Yeah,
however you want to say it. What do you think about that movie? I love it. I love it. It's one of my favorites.
It is such a stupid and goofy movie, but that's why I love it.
It is. That's why I love it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like
I used to look down on that movie, but then I realized like it's a cheesy film.
Now,
but if you get past the cheesiness,
nobody in
it's
Santa
actually kinda
Modesta
dark
has been
if you think
seeing
about it.
dude, they made that movie in a month.
Yeah.
They made that movie in a month.
Nothing like this happened in Santa Modesta. So
we're real Americans and they're not. Next.
I love this. This is one of my favorite parts of the game, even though you only do it once.
There's nothing to trouble your puny human brains about.
The mayor's right. This was all just a random series of suspiciously coincidental yet easily rationalized events.
How'd you get so smart,
Okay then.
Give it up. Let's hear it from me.
That was very sophisticated, Sekis.
Good night and
oh man.
Tomorrow.
But yeah, the Heisei series is really the only series that has a solid continuity out of the entire Godzilla franchise.
Yeah, well, obviously the Legendary series has an ongoing continuity as well, but like I count that as the American ones that have been coming out since like 2014.
Yeah,
those have an ongoing continuity, but those are usually kept in a separate discussion from like proper Japanese Godzilla.
Yeah,
like
proper Japanese Godzilla is
not to say
different.
that they're like inherently worse or anything. It's just they are a different product.
And honestly,
what Toho
like
makes.
one of the things about Toho is that they like at least made their humans interesting. I really could not give less of a crap about any of the humans.
Yeah, it's sad, but it's true.
Mayor declares town safe. Exploding cows under control, declares town official. Lead-free fuel to blame for explosion at gas station.
Oh, jeez. Personally, one of my favorite modern Godzilla movies, and this is actually produced by Toho, and that's Shin Godzilla.
I still haven't seen Shin Godzilla. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I have a digital
It's
copy.
a decent movie, but it's not my favorite.
No, I get it. It's not it's definitely not one of the best, but it's not the best. It's one of the best, but not the absolute best. But it is a good film. I like
the Netflix Godzilla trilogy is usually considered among the worst that Godzilla has to offer outside of like TriStar Godzilla.
Oh yeah, I don't even get started on TriStar Godzilla.
Or the Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Oh god, up from the depths, 30
stories high. Breathing fire.
His head in the sky.
Oh.
I forgot that was a thing.
I've never seen the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla cartoon.
It hasn't really gotten many home media releases due to the complicated rights with it. But like, all you need to know is that since this is a Hanna-Barbera series, they gave Godzilla a comedy sidekick called Godzuki.
Yeah, isn't he supposed to be his son?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like their version of Minya.
Which, honestly, Minya was a better name than Godzuki, if you ask me. But that's, you know, my opinion. Neither were that great names anyway. Still.
So we're done with the redneck town. Now we're going to Santa Modesta, which is our royalty-free version of San Francisco.
Here we are, Crypto. Sunny Santa Modesta. First up, I want you to find the alpha male of this town. Perhaps we can gain an insight into the way this whacked human social hierarchy functions. Crypto, the first thing you should do is take a human disguise. In this mission, it's
I love that he used like 2000s slang there. It's totally whacked. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, am I coming through clearly, or am
You're coming in?
Am I coming through clearly though?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm out inside of my car and I'm not sure how strong the
I see.
the internet connection is from here.
Fair.
I was getting a little too loud for everyone, so I had to move venues, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a game that gets some pretty spirited reactions out of people.
It's raining outside, so.
You remain completely incognito. If your true form is seen by anyone, the mission will fail.
Yeah, so if you hear rainfall in the background, it's because it's raining outside.
Thankfully, it seems to be filtered out for the most part.
That's good. Yeah.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Let's see, Kabuto. Where is Kabuto?
You know what would really make this perfect? Scan any humans you find. They might be able to tell you where the alpha male is located.
There's Kabuto.
Did he say skin any humans you find, or scan?
Scan.
Scan.
Okay, good.
It did sound like skin, though. I will say that.
Date night jockeys.
Okay.
What a great
I was thinking, like, what?
Love pool parties.
It's like, I knew that this game was brutal, but that brutal?
No, it's only rated T, so it can't get that violent.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It would have to really it would have to, like, jump through some major mental gymnastics and hoops for that.
You know, this music's oddly fitting for this time period. The Corey Feldman redeem, I mean.
Oh, you mean like the
what
French horn and the bassoon playing in the background?
No, I mean, one of my viewers just did a redeem that plays the worst song off the worst Corey Feldman album for like a minute and a half. It's not coming through my mic on your end because I didn't want to annoy you guys with like all my redeem sounds.
No?
So you would have to watch the Twitch stream in order to hear it.
Okay. Yeah.
Why isn't anyone actually
And we knew
Good
we were
question.
here to stay.
Because anyone that gets in the pool is a loser.
We wanted change. We said forever. We were one and we were the same. We were together. We wanted change. We said forever.
Bruh, get your nose out of that guy's ass.
If my kitchen isn't the cleanest and shiniest kitchen in this whole town, I'll crush anyone who disagrees with my dainty manicured best.
That was very, very passive aggressive.
Yes, and also very
There is
1950s.
one tough cookie. I better talk to Silhouette.
Yes.
Go over his head. Things are moving too fast. For all I know, these little green deviants could already be walking among us.
You don't know how right you are.
Ban these stupid pool parties. At least we've outlawed the chicken dance.
This mayor is pathetic. So is this.
Okay, time to go on a rampage.
It's time to trash the place.
Hey, nobody ever wants that scumbag. There, they are. You have the right. Go ahead.
Go ahead, make.
My name is John Day.
Oh no, John Dacre.
Is that what he just said?
Go ahead, make my day. Yes. The
line, right?
John Dacre singing "Christ the Lord is risen today," the perfect song to massacre the innocent.
Sierra's gonna do shit.
The mayor's already dead.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Is that
And
song?
now he's singing Amore. Poorly. That's the reason I have it as a review.
Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-ling, ting-a-ling.
Ting-a-ling as the bell bing. More.
By Dean Martin.
Yes, except the context is I got this audio from a video that was from an old public access broadcast from Chicago, funnily enough, of like a church doing a talent show. And this guy named John Dacre was singing Christ the Lord is risen today and Amore, but the piano accompaniment was so like off tempo that he has to keep stumbling over his words.
No, no.
So we got a new weapon, the Disintegrator Ray. This one disintegrates people, obviously enough. Very similar to a lot of recurring weapons in Ratchet and Clank about it.
Police, out of the way. Drop it.
If you run out of ammunition, use train.
And this is an ability that I don't think was in the original. I can't remember exactly. But we can use our psychic powers to transmogrify pieces of metal into ammunition for our weapons.
Ah. So a metal slug.
Exactly.
Stop right there, pal.
Motel Party Madness. Santa Modesta youths caught in violent jazz music hysteria. Mayor caught in blackmail scandal. Photographs on page 3.
Dude, I was thinking like Little Green Man. Like, wait, isn't that from the 60s? Like,
that's the 60s.
Well, I mean, I was thinking like the stoner trope. That's the 60s. Like, why are they doing it that way?
This is
right
this is like oh, that jazz and that rock and roll is corrupting the youth.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like 1950s. What's his name? Ray Charles.
Yeah, and like they make references to Elvis as well.
Yeah. Like, have you guys ever seen the Ray Charles movie with
I have not, but I've heard good things about it.
Not Anthony Mackie. What
It
is
was,
his name? He
that
played
was,
Electro. Yeah, it was the guy
Jamie
that played
Foxx?
Electro in Spider-Man 2. I mean, Jamie
Foxx.
Foxx. Yeah, Jamie Foxx. He did such a good job, dude. Like, and he played the piano and did like sing a little. I think he did. I think he did sing, but I think that was mostly just Ray Charles before he died, singing the tracks for this movie. He literally died. I think he literally died like a month after the movie came out. I think is when Ray Charles died. It's a fantastic movie though. It's really good. Like if you
Jamie
have
Foxx
not
is
watched
such a
it,
good
definitely
singer.
give it a
Yes, he is. He had a music career for a little bit before he really blew up in acting.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look
But he did play the piano in that movie. Like all the piano is him.
These urban humans are savvier,
Yeah.
grittier,
stringier,
harder to fool. Keep your eyes sharp and your wits sharper.
not in the open. Duck in here.
Hold the frequency.
Head mate. We're go for phase 1.
Our guys inside the station?
Just waiting for the word.
And the tape?
In the briefcase, all queued up.
Subliminal TV messages. What'll Majestic think goes next?
Search me.
I mean, you're not wrong about this being impressive, disturbing, and making people uncomfortable. A lot of stuff we've seen
I am now
tonight.
going to assault you with subliminal messages.
Those black suits again.
Whenever I hear the word subliminal messages, I always think of that SpongeBob line.
Wait, let me grab something to write with.
If our plan is to succeed, simply reading human minds will be insufficient. We must control them. To ease the harvesting of their brain stems, grease the wheels, so to speak.
Sounds.
Isn't he already able to do that?
How do we do it?
Yes, but on a mass scale.
Friends have provided us
Oh, okay.
So we're going to hijack
putting his
their
brain through the airwaves.
Yes.
Keep up with
Okay.
the sedan. You're being outrun by a vehicle that can't
I don't even know what a fucking sedan is.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
Maybe, hey, Earth isn't
alien.
the only planet out there with vehicles.
But what about the word sedan? I think would be pretty unique to Earth.
Scanning the documents now.
Dude, the guy in the background saying like, "Good lord, it's an alien!" He sounds so unenthused. It sounds like 1950s acting.
Yes, and that adds to the charm.
At some point, probably, yeah.
Yes. So now we have to get to the TV station so we can broadcast our mind control signal.
His name is Slimmy Ernst. I want you to go to the TV station and scan.
Slimmy Ernst?
Isn't that Moxie's voice actor? I wouldn't be as Orthopox, yes, that's Richard Stephen Horvitz. You may also know him as Invader Zim. So that's why I said at the beginning it's him.
I've never seen that
world-conquering
show.
Alien.
I've never seen that show, but now that you say that, I have watched clips and it makes sense. I thought that the voice sounded familiar.
Like, this came on when this game came out when, like, Invader Zim's fandom was, like, at its peak. The series had already ended, but it was when there was, like, a lot of that, like, Hot Topic crowd that really liked Invader Zim.
Yeah, Invader Zim is a very Hot Topic franchise for sure. Like the shop, you're talking about the shop, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like whenever I go to Hot Topic with my sister, I always see Invader Zim stuff there. I'm like, oh, I love this stuff, don't I? Like I never really saw the poll of that show, so I can't really say that I understand. I've never really watched it. I've watched
the main
clips.
thing is that
It's
it was
funny,
like
but
the main thing is that it was like really edgy and not necessarily offensive, but just like not what you typically saw on Nickelodeon at the time.
well, I mean, like there were a lot of shows like that during that time.
Even
though,
by
if you really think
Nickelodeon
about
standards, it was considered a bit too far, which is why it got canceled.
Zap that narcoleptic dweeb.
So was it like Billy and Mandy levels of edgy?
Yes, in fact, there was one
Is
episode.
Billy-
There was one episode that was banned for a while because it involved Zip harvesting people's organs and was considered too gruesome.
Signals to control their own people.
You can't see it right now, but my eyes are wide. Wow.
Like, he harvests students' organs, one organ at a time, so he can add human organs to his biology. So if he gets an X-ray, he'll appear human. And there's one part where like he like burps and then like intestines fall out of his mouth.
A few minor adjustments to those rooftop.
This was a kids show.
No. Like, I thought Billy and Mandy was like really pushing it, because like there are some like horrifying things in that show. I remember like my parents would not let me watch that show knowingly. I had to watch
came
it
out like a couple of years
when my
before
parents
Billy
were
and Mandy. The way I would phrase it, because both creators had like very similar senses of humor, is and yes, both shows had Richard Stephen Horvitz in them. Invader Zim walked so Billy and Mandy could run.
Wait, so the guy that played Invader Zim was also in
He
Billy
voiced
Mandy?
Billy.
Perfect position to receive my fuel.
Oh,
He voiced Billy. And
no, I
Harold.
can hear it now. I can hear
He
it
voiced
now.
Billy and Billy's dad.
Yeah, no, I can totally hear it now. Yeah, I can hear that now.
Can't I watch the news in peace?
Oh, I can't unhear it now.
He was also Alpha 5 in Power
man.
Rangers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
How can I love Lucy when she's off the air?
So we have to
That
bend
was
all the
really
antennas
random.
into
How
position.
can I love Lucy when she's off the air?
We have to bend all the antennas
What?
into position within the time limit. And the reason that we have a time limit is because of incredibly complex and technical reasons that our Commander Pox can't get into at the time.
Because of technical bullshit.
Yes, basically.
Welcome
It's like
to the room of infinite bullshit.
Higher than 9349.
He can be so unsympathetic.
An I Love Lucy reference? Yes, this takes place in the 50s, and that's when I Love Lucy was on the air.
Honey, I do not see a sandwich with that beer. I love how like cartoonishly misogynistic Dr. Briefs is. He's so funny.
Yep. All right, ready to see what happens when we transmit our mind control signal?
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
Not
do it.
Dr. Briefs from Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Neuron signal downlink successful. Oh, this is smashing.
You know, Bulma's dad.
Yeah, Bulma's dad is a total piece of shit in that show, but he's so funny.
Wait! Crypto! This signal is too strong! Humans are weak! Their minds can't take that kind of amplitude!
Ew.
Quickly, Crypto! You've got to bend the antennae before they...
Shit.
Ew, that has to hurt.
Ew.
I don't think she's coming back from that one.
No.
Crypto?
It's just like a cartoonishly funny, like splat sound from a cartoon.
Yes, yes. So they can get away with something so gruesome being in a teen-rated game. They just gave it a cartoony sound.
I know, because if they did that, like that would be a little too far.
Freak lightning strikes entire block, kills 12. Local electrician to answer in court for faulty ground wiring. Local personality feared missing. Fans mourn disappearance of Sleepy Ernst.
Oh man!
What rating did this game get? This got a teen rating. This is rated T for teen.
So what would you like to find, you little ball of unbridled aggression?
That's how I want to be described as a pet name. A little ball of unbridled aggression.
They say I'm crazy.
And they say I'm crazy.
Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once.
The fact that you repeated it was gold.
That's the joke. That is literally the joke.
I know. It just was the icing on top of the crazy cake. Oh, man.
They locked me in a room.
Take a moment and extract
I'm
some
over
fresh
rats.
brain
And rats
cells
make me
from
crazy.
living here.
Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. I'm over a room. I'm over a room with rats. And rats make me crazy.
Crypto?
Crazy? I was crazy once.
I'm granting you a license for a new weapon.
Oh, we got the anal probe now.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You
Oh
just collected
my.
an overloaded brain stem. Only 11 more to go. Well, I know it sounds like a lot, but I think it's quite an achievable goal. With the
Dude, this game is so lucky that it's not rated M because
the only reason it's not rated M is because they went out of their.
You know that they would make it like freaky. You know they'd make it freaky.
Yeah, like they do have some freaky stuff in the Destroy All Humans series, but like they get around it by not like being detailed with what they show. Or, like, not being realistic with what they show, like the green blood and stuff like that. And, like, with the adult jokes, they never, like, outright say, it's, like, tons of innuendos.
Avoid these EMPs. They fire an electromagnetic pulse that
If this was Saints Row, it would be a dildo. Yes, it would. And it would have jiggle physics.
Yeah, I was thinking like there's like some very busty chicks in this.
Oh, just wait until Destroy All Humans 2.
They have to, like, what?
Wait until Destroy All Humans 2, because in that game we play as Crypto 137's successor, Crypto 138, and he has a genetic mutation that is only referred to as the package.
The package?
He has a dick. He is the first Huron in generations that's able to sexually reproduce.
No! So, because they succeeded in this game, he has balls and a dick. Really?
Yes, you never see it, but because of that, he's always horny. And since it's the 60s, you've got like hippie chicks, you've got spy girls, you've got a KGB agent who's really busty, that's your love interest.
Love, man.
Like your distractibility is straight up called free love, which forces everyone to start dancing. And one of my favorite series of side quests in Destroy All Humans 2 is the one that involves you starting a cult dedicated to the Furon god Arikado, Lord of the Sacred Crotch.
Who of the what?
Arkvoodle, Lord of the Sacred
There was too much
Crotch.
gunfire going on. I couldn't hear anything.
Arkvoodle, Lord of the Sacred Crotch.
Oh. Is he like Swedish or something?
It's the god of the alien race that you play as.
Oh. Okay.
Like, you start a cult
Okay,
to
so they're
indoctrinate
making fun
humans
of,
into...
like...
It's basically to enslave humans into the Furon Empire through religion.
Oh, man.
Well, not through, like, you know, mainstream religion, but through, like, all the cults that were popping up in the 60s. And in that one, the finale to that side quest is you fight the, like, prophet that you hired to be the spokesperson for the cult. And how many times you have to kill him, it varies depending on how many times you die throughout the game. Stunted sniper strikes again. 16 die as deformed lurker stalks Clancy Street estate. Federal agents declare manhunt as reinforcements arrive on Peninsula. So they're saying this wasn't an alien invader, it was just a really short sniper.
Oh, man.
Because we all know. We all know aliens don't exist.
But short snipers, they exist for sure. Look out!
Exactly, Dash Cat. It's communism's fault.
Commies! Those damn commies, they stole my car!
Yes, because it's always the commies' fault. Even when it's not, for once.
The commies blew up the fairgrounds!
Yeah, when in doubt, blame communism.
I wasn't trying to go for the Bill Cosby voice there, but for some reason it just came out that way.
Damn, I lost my wallet. Damn those commies. It's not your wallet anymore. It's our wallet. All-American fast food sensation. Government scientists helping to defend against communism through better cuisine. Federal agencies read propaganda. Psychotropic food poisoning conspiracy untrue. Hello? This level's all about...
I have to get this game.
This level's all about, like, investigating Majestic putting mind control drugs in the American populace through fast food restaurants to make them more aggressive.
Yes, it's the aliens, not us, in the government, because we're here to help.
Like, seriously, this game's got, like, a lot of stereotypes in it, but its humor is, like, it's not trying to be offensive. It's just, like, really biting. Like, it's not offensive for the sake of being offensive. It's for the sake of, like, satirizing stereotypes that America has.
These people are now rabid
Yeah. Was this made by an American studio or
yes,
like
this was made by an American.
studio?
I believe this was made by either an American or British studio. I can't remember which. but it was published by THQ,
If it was
the same studio
British,
that
would
published.
make sense.
It was published by THQ, the same studio that, well, you know, started publishing Saints Row, but was most known at the time for publishing all the Nickelodeon games.
I'll shoot them out in something fierce if they get near my sheep dolly.
Yep.
Oh, I just heard Dolly.
Why am I Archie? Oh my god, I am Archie.
Oh my god, you are Archie.
And her.
Hey, what's that sound? She's weird, Mr. Reed.
I know I'm not supposed to eat from the diner, or I'll turn into a mindless paranoid drone, but that rhubarb pie is calling my name. Heinrich! Liebchen! Heinrich!
I love that all the scientists are German.
What?
Instead of ice cream?
It's like he was trying to,
Once they step foot outside.
like, dude, he said Heinrich, like Heinrich Himmler.
Yes.
I think he was
Also,
pretending to be like
yes, because
Hitler talking to Heinrich Himmler.
Yes, it's playing into like this was seen as a conspiracy at the time, but it was later actually confirmed by like declassified government documents that after World War II, America just straight up hired a lot of Nazi scientists to work on their projects.
Oh yeah, no, it is a real thing. It is a
Yeah.
very real thing. It's called Project Paperclip.
Paperclip.
It's a very real thing.
Paperclip, yeah. And that's why all the scientists in this
Paperclip.
game are German.
It's all relative. That one kills me.
Damn you, Furon.
Oh, it's all relative. Oh, that one kills me. Yeah.
The psychotropic compounds in that Scheißen turned our lab rats into a pack of paranoid junkies.
The studio that made this is actually the studio that made the remake is
Dude,
German.
he just got around
the studio
saying
that
shit
made
in this game by saying Scheißen.
yes, because it's German, so it's not an American swear.
Majestic are using the food.
But yeah, the studio that made the remake is German. But I was earlier I was talking about the studio that made the
around
original.
it because of that.
It will make life for us very difficult.
The original was made by, I believe, Pandemic, and I'm not sure whether they were American, Canadian, or British. Because I often get them confused with Free Radical and Human Head. Yeah, it's not a swear if it's a different language.
Replenish your sausage shields by
So anyway, time to destroy the fast food
be very
restaurants.
careful around your German friends with language like that. They'll think that you have a poopy mouth. Oh man, this game is totally making fun of 1950s. I love it. I love it so much. Have you guys ever seen the original the Day the Earth Stood Still?
No, I only saw the remake. You know, I only watched the best movies. I only watched the best movies.
The original one is so good, but and what about War of the Worlds, the 1950s one?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard the radio drama with Orson Welles.
I've never actually listened to that. I need to listen to that.
It's
I'm
really
pretty
good
sure it's on
because
Spotify.
You can hear it's public domain now, so you can just look it up on YouTube.
Destroy those vehicles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll have to do that tonight. I'm off tomorrow, so I can stay up late.
Like like you know the whole story about how like people heard it at the time and they thought it was an alien invasion. That's partly true. Like the radio broadcast is presented as if it's like an actual news broadcast being told in real time. about alien invaders.
Didn't you like cherry pick only the parts that are like explaining what's going on?
Like
not explain like characters?
No,
well,
like
actually,
the thing is
book
people
is
tuned
actually...
into it. Like the actual story of like what caused the mass hysteria is that people tuned into it late and missed the setup telling them that it was fictional. Moon rocket disaster. Test flight crashes. Officials blame monkey astronaut. Lights in the sky. 4th of July comes early for prankster. So yeah, we get a newspaper headline when we die, and when we die, we are no longer Crypto 137 because these guys cloned themselves. We are now Crypto 138.
Really, really dark brown.
Wait, but do you have the package?
What do you say?
Not until Destroy All Humans 2, and I have to keep correcting myself because I keep trying to say No More Heroes instead of Destroy All Humans.
I've never actually played any of the No More Heroes games.
I think you would like. They are great. I would say stick to the Switch versions of 1 and 2. The PC version of 1 finally got most of its issues fixed, but the PC version of 2 still has some issues that need to be fixed, and its patch is being worked on. We just don't know when it's going to be done.
Wasn't it like a specific
You're cutting out a
Nintendo franchise until like a few years ago? Was it a specifically like Nintendo thing?
It's not like it was a specifically Nintendo thing because there was a PS3 and Xbox 360 for the first game. It's just that Suda51, the series creator and main director, really likes Nintendo, so he keeps working with them and giving them like launch exclusivity, and then they get ported to platforms afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Because he likes how Nintendo. He's a really experimental director, so he likes how Nintendo is also a very experimental company.
Yeah, I mean, for a company that's still running on PS3, I mean, that runs their current console on PS3 graphics, they're very, they like to push the bounds.
Well, experimental in terms of like not focusing on like raw hardware power, instead focusing on new ways to create gameplay experiences.
No, I understand that. I'm just throwing a dig at Nintendo because they're cheap assholes.
I say it's high time we abduct.
But I agree that I hope that like the
But I like Nintendo for the most part.
So do I, but their hardware is definitely underpowered. Like I'm not someone that's like a total, graphics snob of like it has to be 4K 60 FPS or it's not worth my time.
Yeah,
but, like,
very underpowered.
But the Switch is definitely underpowered in the fact that even the first-party games aren't running well.
It's a consistent frame rate.
Yeah, like I'm not too concerned about like Ultra HD resolution and like 120 FPS.
No, they aren't.
And stuff like that. I just want the
like
frame
starting
rate to be
from
stable.
I think it was.
I want it to run stably and look like it belongs in the generation of hardware it's a part of.
How the hell am I supposed to run in these shoes?
I have activated Hypnoblast Fun. Now you can telepathically turn the humans into mighty.
Smell.
They'll follow you.
I like the game is fun, but it's just the frame rate kind of kills it for me. Like it like at some parts of it, it's like really good. And then pace, and I'm like, just I don't know.
But No More Heroes
like
benefits from No More Heroes benefits from like
I
being
hope that it
tailor-made
gets
for
patched eventually.
the No More Heroes series benefits from being tailor-made for Nintendo's hardware, even if it does kind of push its limits a bit. Like, the first game on Wii is actually my preferred way to play it for, like, the authentic intended experience. But the Switch port is, like, the most accessible and best performing version in terms of, like, looking sharp and having stable frame rate. But does have a couple, like, graphical bugs, but nothing game-breaking.
Okay.
The PC versions were utterly broken until recently. The first game got a patch on PC after 3 years of being broken, and they're working on a patch for the second game. No More Heroes 3 is one where I would recommend playing on
taking
anything
a real long time on that.
No More Heroes 3 is one where I'd recommend playing on anything
Except
Switch.
PC.
Except Switch, because while it runs okay on Switch, it's very clear that's not optimized very well for the Switch hardware. Because unlike the other No More Heroes games, it runs in Unreal Engine 4, and Unreal Engine 4, while it's technically compatible with the Switch hardware, it's not very well optimized for the Switch hardware without a bunch of extra work.
Go to hell, Klaatu. You think I'm scared of a 3-foot space hamster?
I think you should.
I think you might be right.
I am right, Kier.
Now
What about No More Heroes 2 and 3 other consoles? 2 is only available on Wii, Switch, and PC at the moment, and on PC it's utterly broken, very prone to crashing.
A flying saucer crashed
But the Switch version runs perfectly fine, better than it does on Wii.
Of course not. What do you know about Majestic?
I know we're gonna kick your little green ass all the way back to Mars. I'm not!
These weapons, where
colorblind?
are you
Is every human on Earth colorblind?
How many agents does Majestic have?
I think he was saying that as an insult.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's like, why is it saying green?
Don't get mad. Get sadistic.
Now those are words to live by. Don't get mad. Get sadistic.
Right?
That. Oh man.
The Jumbo Probe.
Don't get mad. Get sadistic.
That sounds like something the Joker would say.
Yeah, right.
Don't get mad. Get sadistic.
Then give.
You're right. It does sound like a Joker line. Oh my, this is going into dark places.
Yup.
Daddy.
Area 42.
Yeah, we don't get to go to Area 51 in this game. We only get to go to Area 42.
We're going back to Rockwell for the last time.
In a second.
Did he?
Hold still.
Did he age him up?
Let me just.
That was the results of the Jumbo Probe. The alien is kind of cute in an ugly sort of way. I want to pet his head. Yeah, he's got that classic gray alien design that's kind of cutesified, but they added details to him, like those pulsating things on the back of his head, to make it clear that, like, this guy's kind of gross. Government agent abducted. Soviets denied double agent defection.
I think they wanted
to blame everything on the communists.
Damn communists! Stealing on agents. Leave our agencies alone!
Upgrade or something a little more personal.
I love that one of the upgrades for the probe is called butt pressure amplifier. And then its upgrade is called the butt pressure maximizer. And then the highest tier is called the rectal packager supreme.
Oh no.
This sounds like something from a BDSM website.
Yes, it does.
Oh my god.
Yes, it's like you go into one of those sussy shops and you're like, yeah, I'll have a rectal packager supreme. Do you have any of those in stock?
Yeah, it sounds like something you'd find at a Spencer's for sure.
Yes. Spencer's would literally call it that.
He literally would. That would be in their adult toys section.
And it would be motorized.
Turbo motorized.
Yes.
With turbo action. Turbo packaging action.
Let's see if I can get this right.
All right, in the PS2
The
version
ladies
of
will
this,
love it.
In the original PS2 and Xbox version of this game, in this level, it would play clips from Plan 9 from Outer Space on the drive-in theater.
No dance.
But here they changed
no
it to
rock
something
and roll.
generic.
Why, if it weren't for that juke joint down by the river, I'd never get my rocks off.
You said a mouthful, Cupcake. There's a whole wide world out there, and
Oh my god. She just said I'd never get my rocks off.
Yes, and they're about to make a Rebel Without a Cause reference.
It's tearing me apart!
Right there.
What you need is a new direction.
You are telling me
A real
apart,
purpose in
Lisa.
life.
Yes, that line in the room was a reference
the
to Rebel
room.
Without a Cause.
The room.
What?
Wise up, Romeo.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The "You're tearing me apart,
tearing me
Lisa" was a
apart,
reference to
Lisa.
it was a reference to Rebel Without a Cause because Tommy
It'll tell you
Wiseau's a
everything
big
you need
fan
to
of
know
that
about
movie.
protecting your little corner of the country from communist invasion.
Thanks a million, Daddy-O.
Freaking A.
Wow. There goes a real American.
A real American dreamboat.
Freaking A!
Yes.
That was the most dad line ever.
Stinking berg.
And our little films.
Freaking A!
Up and ready to go. The pimply projectionist is none the wiser. Won't those kids be surprised when Abbott and Costello turn into Jimmy and Johnny Commie Killer in Reel 6?
Good work, Agent, and not a moment too soon. We need to be in Santa Modesta yesterday. Don't break for yellow. Read me?
Loud and clear.
So
You're right across from me. We don't have to talk in code.
So that character right there is Silhouette, the leader of Majestic.
From the one in goggles. Want me to blow him up?
Thank you, Crypto, but I have a better idea. See the plaza over there by the big screen? The humans drive their carbon combustion.
Why is the gas mask man kind of hot? Wait until
and
you see
then
the gas
view
mask man
projected
without the
images
gas
for
mask.
purpose of entertainment.
Makes perfect sense.
I suggest we
Does
beat
But I wanted to blow him up.
Yes, Crypto just wants to blow everything up. Pox is like, no, we need to enslave the humans through mind control.
So we can fuck in the next movie, in the next game.
Also, there was in one of the previous stages, the one at the fair, if you passed by the cars that were parked like by the hillside, you'd see that the cars are rocking.
Wait, what?
In the fair level,
Why are they
like
rocking?
the second level of the game, you can pass by the cars that are parked by the hillside in that level and see that the cars are like rocking in place. Oh, he's peeing. I froze him when he's peeing. Okay. But you'd see that the cars are rocking, which means that the people that are in the cars are having sex. Oh, they're showing teenagers from outer space. In the original, they were showing Plan 9.
Interesting.
It's hurting.
I've prepared a special film that I'm sure the audience will love. Be a good boy and pick it up.
I'm on it.
It's called Teenagers from Outer Space.
Sex in this yes, in this Christian game. In this very Christian game.
Oh, jeez.
Nah, see, this is all an allegory for how Jesus is going to come back during the revelation and cleanse the world of sin.
Now, sit back and enjoy the
See, I can pull shit out of my ass.
That is highly debatable, but
I know, I wasn't I was just making a shitty joke.
I know, I'm just saying.
But yeah, I understand that that's not like, you know, literally what it says, because there's a lot of debate about what stuff in Revelation actually means.
Talking.
Time to break out the disintegrator, because we have to protect the film. We have to protect the projector so it can finish showing the mind control
Just
film.
1 minute remaining.
Better the kids in the movie. In the movie theater are like, what the heck is all that noise?
Like they're all being brainwashed.
Dude, there's
by
like
the
a
film.
little
That's
gray
showing
man
so they
just
don't even
vaporizing a
notice.
bunch of dudes.
Yeah, they don't even notice because we're hypnotizing them.
And I really hate not.
30 seconds. Hang on.
Attention! Flaming police! You want to get me some water? Attention!
10 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
They've almost managed to stop the movie.
There we go. Guess Crypto isn't a furry. Furon Flicks hit sticks. Meet the Furons has something for everyone. In other news, Mayor's still missing.
It totally sounds like a government headline.
Weapons, abilities, saucers, upgrades are us.
It's like, talk about it, then deflect. That's that is the total mainstream media right there.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, all this stuff is really bad, but hey, look at this. Look at who what's his face is doing with this. It's like
Yeah, it's always been that way. It's nothing new.
Oh yeah, it's like oh, all these horrible things are going on, but look at Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Emmys. Like, that's stuff like that. Like I remember when that happened.
Yeah. Our next mission, South by Southwest. And yes, that, in case you couldn't tell,
that is a total
Northwest
reference. I love that movie. That is such a good movie.
Yes.
Like I'm a total I love watching old movies, and that's one of my absolute favorite thrillers from the 50s. That is a fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It is so good.
Come to escalate this little war against the Majestic. You will definitely be needing a more powerful weapon.
Next weapon time.
Be very careful with this weapon.
The ion detonator.
It's like
too close.
Either north by northwest or is also another route.
Psycho's a really good Hitchcock one. Like, I know Psycho's the obvious answer.
I still haven't seen Psycho.
Psycho's really good. I would recommend, like, not looking up the plot summary for it, because it's really a movie where you need to go into it not knowing anything about how it plays out. Which is hard to do with such an iconic movie.
Yeah, I honestly... I really know only the tropes of it. I've never actually, like, read a synopsis for the film, though.
Like, everyone had, and their mother has seen references to, like, the shower stabbing scene while the violin strings are playing, but the context that
the music
happens in is shocking for its time. Like, really, like, you did not see...
Oh, yeah.
Like, the context of how that scene plays out, that's not
the
how
shower
movies
scene
were made
itself,
at the time.
like...
That's not how stories were told at the time.
No, no. Basically, and also
like,
breast was like unheard of in films at that
also,
time.
Like, the funny thing is that, like, obviously Hitchcock had to fight with the American censors a lot over that movie, because the Hays Code was still in effect. But, like, they had to go frame by frame to make sure you couldn't see Janet Leigh's nipple, which you could not, because he thought ahead and put, like, basically pasties on that blended in with the skin. But also, the thing that they drew, that they took offense to after they confirmed that there was no uncensored nudity in the movie, was that there was scenes of a toilet flushing.
What?
That was something that he
Really?
was
That's
not
what
allowed
they
to
took
be.
offense to?
That was something that you were not allowed to depict in American media at the time, because it was considered crude and obscene.
Wow, that's really dumb.
Yes, it is. The Hays Code was horrible for the entertainment industry. But at the same time, it indirectly led to some of the best stuff to be created in its era, because they had to work around those limitations and still deliver, like, compelling stories and shocking twists.
I'm sorry, dude. Like, whenever you're shooting, I can't hear you.
I will
really
fix
can't.
that real quick. I will turn down the game volume then.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just saying, like, the Hays Code was really bad for, like, really bad for a lot of directors, because, you know, they had to fight tooth and nail over completely arbitrary bullshit that wasn't allowed to be shown in their movies and TV shows. But at the same time, it indirectly led to some of the most iconic stories ever told during that period, because they had to work within very strict limitations of what was allowed to be shown on screen. It was especially good for the horror genre, which I wrote about in a 12-page essay for high school, about how, like, because the Hays Code put limits on what kind of violence could be shown on screen, it led to a lot of the scarier stuff being implied rather than shown, which leads to your mind, like, imagining up something more gruesome than what they could have shown at the time. Like, the entire thesis of my essay was not just, like, you know, an abridged history of the horror movie genre, but also, like, how the more lax standards of what's allowed to be depicted on screen, starting from, like, the late 60s onwards, has led to horror movies getting a lot more visceral and gruesome, but also losing that inherent scare factor in favor of going for more, like, making you feel grossed out at what you're seeing.
Yeah, I've realized that they do a lot of more show, not tell a lot of the time in horror films. And that's why I enjoy like 1950s and 60s horror films instead of modern day stuff.
Like
because of the implication of what they're dealing with.
1932's Dracula is really effective for its time, despite not showing any acts of violence on screen. Wild monkey taken down. Decomposing body stinks up Santa Modesta suburbs. Fear over gas cylinder safety. Local vows, we shall barbecue again.
I mean, it's Memorial Day,
man.
so we should be barbecuing.
Be very careful with this.
Yeah, but this is Californian barbecue, so it's not real
over,
barbecue.
but still. It's plant-based.
Well, I wasn't even talking about plant-based. I was talking about, since I'm from North Carolina, and we have like a very specific kind of barbecue that we're known for. Like, people in California are like, oh, barbecue. By that, we mean just anything that's cooked on a grill. And I'm like, no, that's not barbecue. Barbecue is a whole thing that you have to go through a process of preparing. You have to like marinate it and season it and put a particular sauce on it. And it's usually made out of pulled pork or shredded chicken.
Or a specific cut of beef.
Yeah. Like, North Carolina's mostly known for our pork barbecue.
Oh. Down in Texas, it's like beef and pork are like the biggest ones down there. A little bit of chicken, but not as much.
Like, the main difference between, like, Texas-style barbecue
really good barbecue down there.
The main difference between, like, Texas-style barbecue and, North Carolina or Lexington-style barbecue, as they call it, is the kind of sauce that's used on it.
Yeah, down in Texas, it's like really like, it's almost like water. I don't like the barbecue sauce down in Texas.
Yeah, North Carolina's
I like a viscous.
Yeah, North Carolina's barbecue sauce is like what you imagine as barbecue sauce.
Like Sweet Baby Ray's or Stubbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stubbs is one of my favorite types of barbecue sauce, and like we don't have it here in Chicago. At least I don't think so.
I mean, we'd probably have to
Do we?
order that from like Amazon or something like that, I think.
You can order it online, probably.
Yeah, I was thinking like I haven't
gonna...
seen it anywhere here.
Yeah, you're not gonna find it in a grocery store.
But here's the weird thing. In Washington State, where I come from originally, you can find it at any grocery store. And it's like the farthest from the South you can get. Like Seattle area, not DC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In case you were confused on what I meant.
I knew what you meant when you said Washington State, because DC's not considered a state.
No.
I know, but I don't know.
And also
I've met
because
people that thought
whenever
that,
people say
that
Washington, they
DC
always
was.
Whenever people say
so.
Washington State, they always say that specifically so people don't confuse it with DC.
Yeah.
And also because DC's so small that doesn't really
I guess
have,
I forgot
like, it doesn't really have
that
like,
I said Washington
cuisine.
State.
Like DC's so small that it doesn't have enough just area to have like a local cuisine of its own.
Isn't it like literally the size of like a small county? Like,
basically,
like
yeah,
it's
like
a very small county.
Yeah, it's like basically a county right in between Virginia, and Maryland.
Now it's time to cause this nasty
Maryland, yeah.
some real damage.
Yeah,
now
it's
we
like
have to
right
cause
between the two
$20,000 worth of damage to Majestic.
That's like chump change compared to today's money. But
yeah,
back then, I guess it would have been a lot of money
millions.
back in the 50s. Yeah, like millions in today's money. Yeah, exactly. It was $22,000. And it's like people from today's. It's like that's nothing. It's like it's more than you think it is. Back in my day, 1,000 actually meant something.
Well, apparently killing a single Majestic agent costs $500. So, well, you know, you can put a price on human life.
Got their attention.
Or it's like, well, no, actually, they're saving money now that you think about it. If you kill a single agent, they don't have to pay them anymore.
But
you gotta pay for the funeral expenses and having the body.
Yeah. And then training the replacement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time and money.
Yes. Yes.
Bitch gonna fight me again? Yep, she's fighting me again.
What?
Well, okay, so you know how yesterday I mentioned I got some new Pokemon cards while I was down in Oklahoma before I came back? On Facebook, I
got a little Pokemon, Batman.
I have an album on my Facebook page called Project Kanto, which is basically me just keeping a digital record of all the Pokemon I've got in my Kanto decks right now. So I'm putting the pictures up on Facebook, and I'm re-editing the album so it actually all, flows in order. But Nido Queen, of course, is being a bitch. She doesn't want to move half the time. Done. That's a little
Wait, who's being a bitch?
Nido Queen. One of the Pokemon.
Ow.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Project Kanto's been fully reorganized. Sad fact is I only have like 89 out of the 151 Pokemon from Kanto. But, that will change soon enough.
Alright.
You've got their attention.
Oh, speaking of, like, collections, I actually, I went to GameStop to pay for a couple of, pre-orders on some Transformers that I had ordered through them. And I came across this guy that has like a ton, and I mean a ton of like classic, like really high-end Pokemon cards. And he's like getting them all like graded. And like he's got some like really high-end cards, and they're all in fantastic condition. And he was like like just a Transformer collector, and he's like, oh, do you have like a ton of them? I'm like, yeah, I do, but most of them are in storage. He's like, oh, cool. And like, what else do you do? And I'm like, oh, I also customize figures. And he's like, oh, can I see some? And so I showed him, and I told him about that. Some of them will be featured in Earthfall eventually. And he's like, oh, what's that? And I'm like, Oh yeah, it's the show that I voice act in, and like I said, some of my figures are gonna be in it, like my Ultra Magnus.
Nice.
So yeah, and it was really cool. The guy was like really supportive. He's like, dude, just keep doing what you're doing. You've got a very unique but really fun hobby. Keep at it. I'm like, I just really needed to hear that today. I felt really nice.
I'm glad you had that interaction. That sounds like a really nice interaction to have.
Because sometimes because sometimes doing collecting Transformers and then painting them up, some of them are just utter failures. Like I tried to do an Armada styled sideways out of the laser cycle.
Yeah.
And it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. Like,
part of it's because Sideways
really
has such
wanted
a
it to
really
turn out better.
specific Sideways has a really specific design.
Yeah.
That, like, is hard to get out of.
Well, the thing is
standard,
that like if you
motorcycle mold.
You're right,
Like,
with
mostly,
because his chest is literally the front of the bike. Yeah, it's really hard to, like, I suppose you could probably make it out of the animated the animated Prowl legacy figure. You could do that, but then you wouldn't get the wheels on the back that he's known for. And this is actually, like, it's very, you can get it really close because you can actually, like, split the front wheel in half, and then and you can plug it into the back, like just at the nape of the neck, and it looks very similar to that design from Armada. And it just, when I painted it up, it just bubbled up and stuff. It was a disaster. And yeah, it's like that happens if you're spraying it too close to the nozzle. And I was like half awake while I was doing it because I had just woken up, and I'm like, oh crap. I was like, oh man, I spent $24 on this. Like, I wanted it to look good. Man. But
anyway,
just that interaction today, it definitely recharged. It definitely gave me a recharge that I needed.
I'm glad you got what you needed from that.
Yeah.
Our final, because I'm going to end stream after this level. Our final news headline for the night: mysterious blaze destroys motel. Manager blames alien invaders. Officials blame faulty wiring. Televisions overload and explode. Factory recalls faulty sets. I told you the humor in this game is amazing.
It's peak, dude. It's peak. It's great.
No.
I love this type of humor. It's so stupid, but it's like something that would be said in the newspaper. It's so funny. Oh man. This sounds like, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like an Onion headline is what it sounds like.
Yes.
It does, actually.
Like an overly sarcastic Onion headline is what it sounds like.
Exactly. That's the best comparison
back in the good
I've heard
old days,
so far.
Back in the good old days when they were like not really I don't know. They just their quality is dipped. They're not as funny as they used to be.
I mean, part of the
I don't think
reason
that they're even
they're
around anymore, are they?
They are still around. They work as a website nowadays rather than like they're not as prominent as they used to be. but they're still around.
Yeah.
Like, I would say part of the reason that The Onion's not as funny anymore is because, like, actual news headlines read like something you would hear on The Onion nowadays.
Yeah.
I know. Today's headlines are so wacky. Like, you don't know
Like,
if it's real or
like,
parody.
not even talking about, like, you know, oh, the world's so crazy now. No, I'm talking about how, like, everything's written as clickbait.
Yep.
Yeah. You're right. No, that's very true.
Like the
Because
rat hole thing.
the mainstream media, they're like failing to get the attention of people anymore. So they have to be clickbaity. They have to do that.
Anyway, let's see if we're going to be rating anybody tonight. Let's see if Ichika's still online. She is. She's doing her birthday stream.
Ooh.
She's not ending her stream until she reaches 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. So, we're going to rate her, and then I want you guys to, if you like her, what you see of her, in more ways than one, to head over to her YouTube channel and give her she's a natural U cup. I'm not joking.
A what?
Natural U cup bra.
It's that one, isn't?
Yes, that one. The one who last time I rated her, she introduced herself to the raiders by saying, "I am Booba."
I'm the boob.
And she's shown pictures of herself from like the neck down on her YouTube channel several times. So I know she is not just exaggerating it for her model. She's actually that endowed.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
Okay.
But yes, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to JKR and Chuck for joining me tonight. I'll see you guys next time. And until then, unpleasant dreams.
Well, the boys have caught us. We hope you like our show. We know you're rooting for us, but now we have to go.